Rise and shine your light in opulence, my solution seekers. It's your girl, the spiritual activist, coming to you with another message, word, theory, whatever. Okay, but on this series, I'm always talking about how, God chose us and he gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, and how he don't put much more on us than we can bear. Apparently this conversation is hard for me to bear because I can't get my words out right. But seriously, just basically how the best way to transmute and transcend the challenges that we've been through is to be able to look at them from a place of how can I use what I've been through to gain power. And that kind of goes with my video about turning your pain into power. But I was reflecting on this a lot today from looking at, like, me and my sister, we started this little 3-day Bible challenge, and she really touched on some stuff because, we do like a little talk it over, once you read the segment for each day. And it's so, first of all, it's fascinating because the program that I chose is the same name of my son, and it started on the same day as my son's birthday. So it's just like, it's so funny how things are coincidental. But I just want to try to read a little bit to you guys so you can see. So bear with me. I'm trying to find it in my phone. And okay, here it goes. Blessed is the one who endures trials. And my sister put, struggles build character. So the one who struggles most is blessed the most, because God has a plan much bigger for you that he is trying to prepare you for. And that really spoke to me because it's true. I really feel like that. You may hear this in a lot of songs. Honestly, I heard this in a rap song by NLE Chopper too. He was like, we must be chosen because of all the stuff we've gone through. And this is something that's not new. I feel like the more spiritual you become, you do realize that. And skeptics are people who are spiritual but still in that dark place will say that that's BS. But to me, you're not really a spiritual person if you cannot see how blessed and how much God has done for you. If you have no belief in some kind of higher power, or that there are miracles, and that if you cannot see the positive side of things, how far really have you gone through into your spiritual journey? Because to me, that's what it's really about. It's about being able to see the light in life. If you're still encapsulated in darkness, then you still have a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? And that's okay. It's not a judgment. It's not that we're better than you or you're worse than. It's not that. But it's just that I don't allow people to sway my beliefs and my faith, because that's the whole point of my purpose. I'm here to shine my light and continue to stand firm into my ground of my beliefs and my faith in God, knowing that the things I've been through, the way that I've harnessed my resilience and triumph through all these trials and tribulations, is being able to look at them from a positive perspective. And I'm going to do a video more on the Massa Mentality, but it's really just because we all have this collective mind. It's all one mind, but the individuality of our experiences sometimes alter the mindset or the perspective. And that's why I created the idea of the Massa Mentality. And it's specifically geared towards like the African American, with the slavery roots, and, the ancestral traits of, the people who had grandparents who were sharecroppers or slaves, or their grandparents were slaves. That history is embedded in us. And so all black people don't think alike. All black people didn't have the same experiences. And so this mentality may not speak to every black person, and that's why I say I'm not for everybody. But I am for the black people who can resonate with that idea that a lot of the ways that their perspective has been formed has been very self-sabotaging and self-destructive. And so that just really spoke to me, because it's true. We have been chosen, and the trials and tribulations and the struggles and the challenges and the traumas that we've been through are preparing us for something bigger. And the bigger is speaking the word of God and spreading that light in all the ways. And also what I notice about us is that we develop gifts and skills through our pain. Black people have a tendency to be very talented in the fine arts and like theater, very theatrical, very funny, very creative. And those adaptations are some of the positive things that I try to illuminate, because a lot of times we do talk a lot about the dysfunctions of the Black community, but we fail to kind of look at the positive things. And so this is my way of shining light on that. To me, I always say the skills that Black people have acquired through their lifetime is God's grace. These were the things that helped us get through the things. It's kind of like the endurance. And so here's another one. Knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. James 1:3. The more we struggle, the more we can overcome if we choose to overcome. Like the more someone runs, the better their endurance gets over time, because they keep pushing and being able to withstand more. That was my sister's interpretation. And here's another little part. Now, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives all generously and without criticizing, and it will be given to him. James 1:5. And she, her interpretation was, we do not have to be ashamed to ask for wisdom and guidance from God. He loves us regardless of what we lack, but he appreciates us even more when we seek him for help. So I totally agree to this. I'm like, me and my sister are such on the same, like, so in alignment. I just love talking to her. I get so much enlightenment from her. And this is when I say my sister is like, 20 something, and I'm 33 or whatever. I don't have no age, no race, no gender. A message can come from the homeless man. A message can come from a 3-year-old. You miss messages when you don't have an equal respect for humans. You know what I mean? We all are children of God. And we don't know who's been blessed with the word, like to know and have that connection, that connectivity with God. But so I take wisdom from anyone, and she is super wise. She don't even know I'm putting on blast on this podcast today, but she'll be all right. But yeah, it's like life is a test sometimes. And sometimes you got to realize it's not that serious. Just look at things and be like, oh, okay, this is just something I got to go through. It's not personal. Somebody pissing you off is not personal. It's really not even them. It's God speaking through them to say, sometimes God throws you curveballs. You know what I mean? The universe throws you curveballs like, oh, you saying you're faithful? Oh, okay. Oh, you saying God is good all the time? Huh? Cause you got that stimmy? What if you wouldn't have got that stimmy? Would God still be good? Oh, you patient, huh? You done got your anger management under control, but somebody done cut you off. What, you still under control? Oh, okay. I'm just checking. But yeah, it's like that. It's like, so sometimes it's not that individual person. That's how you keep your power too. You don't let that person change your energy, because that's God just trying to test your faith. Like, what can you learn from that moment? But centering that, like, sit it with that feeling, like, reflect on that feeling. Like, you can say, I'm feeling pissed right now. Like, I wish I would, I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to do that, but I didn't. And I thank myself from that, because I've evolved a little bit. That's growth. And so these are the things that I talk about, like that faith, and then there's something else that we were looking at about faith as well. And I kind of reflected on it. What says, blessed is a man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to him that love him. James 1:12. When I see this quote, I think of how we live in a world full of dense energy and negativity, but with the foundation and faith of God, you won't fail. And for your diligence, God sees all and will reward you for all your endeavors. The sacrifice to only be in the world, not of the world. Only coming here to learn your lessons and spread your light won't ever go unnoticed. It's kind of self-explanatory. Like, yes, this world is negative and harsh, but your job is to shine the light, not to join in the darkness. We need light bringers to continue to shine this positivity. And we're behind the race in the light. As Black people, we need to not let this world harden us and not let this world tell us who we are and that we're criminals, we're bad, we're hoodlums, we're no good. Let the media tell us, like the media, the news depictions of us make us feel like we're less than, make us feel like our Black men are no good and our Black women are no good and all these things that are in our mind, that our children are bad or are unruly or spoiled because of different things. It's like we put our own culture on a short leash because we're not thinking with our own mind. We're thinking with the Massa mentality, which is this colonizer's mentality. This mentality that's not of us. This mentality that's an oppressor. Every black person doesn't have this mindset. But for me and the people who resonate with me, you know what I'm talking about. The mind that makes you beat yourself up, that has you so engulfed in self-hate because you are judging yourself from the mind of the massa, of the slave owner, of the colonizer, someone who has been beating you down and telling you you were no good since the day you were born. And then I had another quote that, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without work is also dead. That really speaks to me because that's my whole thing. The body is dead without spirit. It can't move. The body is like the car. The spirit is like the key. You can't get that car moving without starting it up. The spirit is like, there's multiple interpretations of the spirit, but in this instance, I'm speaking of the mood, your ability to have the motivation, your drive, your will, your free will. And so without it, that body can't go nowhere. You're depressed. You're stuck. And I put, this definitely speaks to me and my whole purpose. The idea that the spirit is the key to get you going in your life, but it can only go so far without gas or a spare tire or the GPS, which I call God. I have a little analogy on my Instagram page. I've kind of taken a break from Instagram and Twitter though, so don't be surprised if you don't see that I haven't really been posting 2 weeks strong, and I feel great. But so it's only one aspect of the journey, and faith being great, but it is empty and powerless without true belief or seeking the word, which is your light, or without true belief or speaking the word, which is your light, into others, it is in vain. So somebody has once said, like, education without work. I can't really remember the exact quote, but basically it's kind of like you can have faith, but sometimes the faith is it's a manipulation. You can't trick God, you can't trick spirit and be like, oh, I believe in just so I can get this money. No, you need to really work on building your faith and rooting in faith of God and believing that he has not forsaken you. Don't believe the hype. Don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the darkness. Don't fall into despair. Don't fall into hopelessness, victim mentality, pity party, wallowing. We're done with that. It's time to rise up. It's no longer time to wallow in self-pity. We're strong. That's the reason why we can handle it. It's kind of the same way as God chose women to carry children because he knew that we were strong enough to carry that life. God chose black people to go through all of the trials and tribulations that this society in America has put onto us because he knew we could handle it. We have all been chosen. It's up to you to wake up and realize your light. And I want to really do a video on the spiritual awakening process, what I think of it, because especially coming out of the spiritual closet in the black community can have its hardships. And I want to give you that warning, as you start to embark on that spiritual journey, so that you understand your mind may go through a series of what you feel like is, psychic attacks or all these other things. But really, it's the resistance of the environment around you. And the ancestral traits. You have to realize that the mind, the slave mentality, the Massa mentality, has a mind that doesn't feel like it's better to escape. It's kind of this Stockholm syndrome mentality that you feel safer in the arms of your abuser, because this abuser, the same abuser, has beaten you to the submission of that I'm your savior too. But knowing that we are our own saviors, we're our own gurus, we're our own therapists, we're our own leaders and teachers. We have to seek refuge within each other, because sometimes the psychologists and the therapists and the other people who are not of our experience cannot truly tell us about our experience, and they cannot diagnose us and give us solutions when they have never, like I say, you can't let people prescribe you medicine who ain't never been sick. Sometimes there's a cultural breakdown, and the differences means the things that you may find dysfunctional is really what has gotten us through this long. So yeah, it may have a sense of dysfunction, but it's not to the point where it's obsolete and we need to just take the whole tradition out, because a lot of the traditions that we have adapted is what has kept us resilient. So I just say all this to continue to use these tools. Use that competitiveness that your mind has grown. Use the egocentrism. Use the, not the egocentrism, but use the ego once you mold it into being your biggest cheerleader, the person that gasses you up and knowing who you are. Let your ego be redefined as you're love and light. You're a child of God. You're unstoppable. You are worthy. You belong. You are enough. Those are the only things that really you should be embedding in your mind. Not this worldly stuff. That stuff doesn't define you. You know who you are. You are innately worthy. You are born worthy. Rebuild your sense of self with that. Start your foundation with that, with faith, with trust, with belief in God and the fact that He has chosen you. Don't let what society, the media, the community, your family, your friends tell you, because they need saving too. When you get this resistance from your community, as you start to wake up and people may say, oh, this nigga saved, he's a philosophical ass nigga. Oh, he just brand new now. Oh, he all on his preaching mode. Yes, I am. And I'm feeling good. Are you? But don't be mad at them. Give them more love. Give them more compassion. Continue to speak their word no matter what they're saying. Believe it or not, those words going to start to resonate with their soul. And you're going to wake them up. And that's what we're all here to do. All here to be messengers. We're all small pieces of the puzzle, and not until we find ourselves are we going to be able to see the bigger picture. I hope you understand that analogy, because that's bars, baby. No, I'm just playing. I low-key think I can freestyle. I can't, but yeah, I just want to let you guys know, I love you guys, and we gonna be all right. I hope I can. I'm trying to put this song in here. I hope it plays, but I don't know. But it's J. Paul Jr. All right, and I love that song because it really just. I'm not gonna lie. If y'all don't listen to Zydeco, Zydeco get my spirit going. I know that's got to be somewhere like in my blood because it is. But yeah, that's Zydeco music. Whew, it get my spirits up. Do anything that get your spirit up that's healthy, for real. But as always, I'm rambling now. As always, someone who cares, a spiritual activist. Peace, love, light, and healing energies. Be open to receiving them. I love you guys. Keep God first. Peace out.